The Golden State Warriors, they're going to have an uphill battle this season to return to the finals. Klay Thompson suffered a torn ACL in last year's finals, while Kevin Durant and DeMarcus Cousins, they found new teams. Steph Curry responded to doubts about the Warriors being serious title contenders by saying, quote, "I just laugh it off." Rob Parker, got to ask you, are the Warriors, my Warriors, still legit title contenders?
I don't think they are, not at all. I really don't. And I think people, I get it. They had that unbelievable run. They went to 5 straight NBA championships. First time that happened since the Celtics in the 50s and 60s when they went. So I get it. Everybody thinks, oh, they're still going to win. They still have Draymond. Clay's going to eventually get back. They got D'Angelo Russell. And, of course, they have Steph. So, yes, no, the landscape has changed. They don't have Kevin Durant anymore. That is the piece that's missing. And when you look at their run, this is questionable at best. Remember, it is. When they beat the Cavs, Greg, do you remember that? Beat the Cavs in the championship. No Kyrie, no Love. That was the one that they won when Steph was leading the way. Then Steph Curry is the author of the biggest choke in NBA history. Up 3-1, they choked. They choked to the Cavs. Steph wrote that book. No team in the history of the NBA had ever choked down a 3-1 lead. Ever.
In the finals.
In the finals. This was a 73-win team. Greg, you remember that? All those wins?
I do.
They lost the last 3 games in that series, including 2 at Oracle.
To who? Who did they lose to? I forgot.
Right? That was to the Cavs.
Who was the leader of that Cavs team?
Kyrie Irving. And LeBron was on that team, too.
Okay, all right.
Then this past year, for all the injuries, oh, it's so unfair. How could Toronto, it's not fair. They had injuries. Wait a minute. Their first championship, they won because Cavaliers had injuries, right? Injuries are part of the game, Greg. Got to play with who's out there. Game 6, Mr. Everything, Steph Curry, has an open look to win the game with 10 seconds to go. He makes all the shots, half court, trick shots. Sometimes I think he's playing for the Harlem Globetrotters. He's so good. But when it comes down to making the big shot in the big moment, you know what? He doesn't make it. 0 for 8 when he missed that 3-pointer that would have won that game. Game 6 forced a game 7. Even with Klay hurt, even with no Durant, they were that close to winning and moving on, moving to the game 7. So when you look at Steph, now he's officially 0 for 8 in the final 20 seconds in games where they're tied or behind, where he has a chance to put them.
Okay, so he gave us a history lesson on the Warriors.
Yes.
Do you want to answer the question, Greg,
listen,
before I put him in his place?
So all I'm telling you is, when you look at all of that, the Steph Curry-led Warriors, right? Steph Curry-led Warriors aren't as impressive as you think. They're impressive when Kevin Durant got there and they won those 2 championships. This team, without Kevin Durant, with an injured Klay Thompson coming back, dude, they're not contenders.
So the title is
they will not.
Legit title contenders.
Totally hear the question and understand the question. And I'm with Rob here. I don't believe that they're legit contenders. And the reason why, as you mentioned several things, but I'm just going to focus on what they don't have and what they have. Klay Thompson is going to miss pretty much the entire season. That's 21 points a game that is no longer. Kevin Durant is gone. That's 26, 27 points a game that is gone. You then bring in a D'Angelo Russell. That's 21 points a game that you do add. But you haven't seen how that is going to mesh with Steph. They play the same position. Their style of play is similar. Ball in hand, dribble, shoot, 3-point shots. It's similar. We haven't seen how that's going to mesh. Now you're asking a Draymond Green, can you elevate your scoring? Because we're going to need you to score more now. We're going to need you to be more effective on the offensive side versus just defensively in all the facets that he does so well. Rebounding, assists, get all of that. Still going to be great. And how is your rookie that you just acquired, Jordan Poole, how is he going to fit in? Is he going to be able to fill in those shoes that that Klay Thompson has now left open because he's still on the roster, but he's injured. We need somebody that can become another additional splash brother. Can Jordan Poole be that guy? And then Alfonso McKenzie. Good young player that got some experience, gained some experience because of those injuries that you alluded to and that you mentioned. But can he become the two-way player that Klay Thompson was and is for them? These are all the questions that they have to answer, and they are big questions to answer. I don't question whether or not they'll be a good team, but a legit contender when you're looking at the West and what the West already is and what LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers couldn't do to penetrate the playoff push. Like, it's not going to be as easy as you're making it seem for the Golden State Warriors.
All right, gentlemen. All right, this is a good start. Good history, good numbers. I'm going to break it down for you as three-pronged attack here. This is pretty simple, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get started here with the theme of reinvention. Okay, you guys know it well. Drake was like a teen actor in this Degrassi show, you know, like teeny bopper stuff. He's now one of the greatest rappers going today. Okay, he's reinvented himself. The Golden State Warriors were a great defensive team with Iguodala, Kevin Durant, protecting the rim, changing on the perimeter. They're going to reinvent themselves as an offensive juggernaut. They're going to trot out, when Klay comes back, Klay, Russell, and Curry, a three-headed monster from the perimeter. D'Angelo Russell was an all-star last year. He's a good player. He's going to have to step up his game, but it's going to be easier when you're playing with the Splash Brothers. So that's one, reinvention. Number two, let's look at the actual contenders, shall we? Okay, we got the Clippers, no doubt about it, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. We've got the Lakers, LeBron, Anthony Davis. And who do we have after that? The Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis and I don't know who their number two is, Chris Middleton. Guy averaged 13 a game against the Raptors when they choked after being up 2-0. Hold up. Milwaukee, maybe the third best team in the league. They're good. They're going to win another 60 games. After that, I go down the list. I got, the Sixers? Can Joel Embiid stay healthy? Ben Simmons, is he going to make a jump shot? That's four contenders. I can't find a fifth, and my fifth is the Golden State Warriors. That qualifies them as legit contenders. And finally, by the way, don't even try to mention the Houston Rockets or the Utah Jazz. They're not there yet. And finally, this is going to be a Warriors team that will struggle in the regular season without Klay Thompson. That's undeniable. They will get off to a slow start. Klay will come back by February. Draymond will get in shape, as he always does. They will be a dangerous contender come playoff time. Any rebuttals?
I can't buy any of that because the other thing that you're negating is just the Western Conference by itself. You name it.
What? You're going to give me Denver Nuggets? Is that what
I'm going to give you?
You're going to come with the Denver Nuggets.
That was one game away from the Western Conference.
Oh, the team that gagged at home in Game 7 against Portland, which can't win a game against the Durantless Warriors. Get out of here with the Denver
Portland is another good team.
Take it out.
Houston's there.
Houston?
All these other teams. And you know what? I'm going to give you two teams, right? The Lakers were a non-playoff team. You put them in.
They're in there.
Okay. There are two other teams on the outside that aren't going to be pushovers either. Pelicans going to be much better. I'm just saying in the Western Conference.
Wait, we went from legit title contenders to the Pelicans?
But my point is, it's not the cakewalk that they used to have in the Western Conference. It's not going to happen.
That's true.
They're going to struggle
I just said that.
in the Western Conference. They're not a legitimate. They will not be in the Final Four of trying to make it. They won't be in the Final Four of the Western Conference. They're going to be below that. And they will have to go on the road. They're not going to be.
They're going to have to go on the road to mighty Denver.
It's really simple.
You can't win in Denver.
I'll wrap it up with
Portland just did in Game 7.
We can look at their struggles against the Los Angeles Clippers last year with the roster that they had last year.
Clippers had no stars.
They had no stars. And now you add to what you had Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and you really believe that the Warriors are a legit contender? No,
the title was legit. No question the Lakers and Clippers are ahead of the Warriors. No doubt about it. I will see what happens in a 7-game series when everybody's healthy, deep in the playoffs. I give the Warriors a shot for sure. I don't think they're going to win, but they're a legit title contender. And hey, maybe they get lucky the way the Raptors did, and somebody gets injured the way half the Warriors roster went down. Things happen.
Did you pick Milwaukee or the Raptors?
I took Milwaukee.
Okay.
And you can't count on Klay coming off a knee injury like that.
Please.
Late in the
Clay's already running if you're following him on Instagram.
I totally understand that and know that. but it's an ACL.
Time to get
he
back
needs that.
to the NFL. $40 million? Should Jerry just let Dak play out his current deal? Eric Mangini gives us his answer next.